As you look live at the Raleigh skyline, you've probably wondered, are all of these buildings full of people?
The short answer is no. Right now, 18.1% of office space in the Triangle is empty, and that vacancy rate has doubled since 2018.
And at the same time, a new study reveals the Raleigh area is in need of 17,000 housing units. So we wanted to know, could homes replace some of these high-rise offices? WRAL's Matt Tallhelm finds out.
A corner office overlooking Morgan and McDowell Streets gives Bishop Sam Rodman a view of Raleigh's future.
We realize the neighborhood's changing. There's a lot of development and activity.
Taller glass towers now loom over the offices of the Episcopal Diocese of North Carolina. It's the only remaining tenant in this three-story office building, the last packed up before the pandemic, leaving behind a reception desk leading to dark windowless hallways and offices separated by walls.
It's configured for a different working style.
That style changed for the church during the pandemic like it did for so many other office workers. Many of them work remotely now, more of the time.
So there's a question of whether we ever really needed a giant office building at all.
The diocese decided to sell this building to a Chicago-based developer who plans to demolish the offices to add housing.
They are expecting to build on this site a residential property that we believe will enhance the neighborhood.
That need for more housing is outpacing the demand for offices coming out of COVID. You see it in the office space for lease signs and glass office buildings so empty you can see straight through them. In 2019, before the pandemic, the city of Raleigh approved construction of 745 multifamily housing units. Last year, that number soared to 3,818 units, a 412% increase. The square footage of new office space approved for construction increased just 21% during that same time. Patrick Young is the city's planning director.
A lot of the office projects are kind of slow and on hold. Residential is moving forward more because of the high demand.
So could office high-rises be replaced by housing? I asked that question to Young.
Could those office buildings be converted into housing?
Right. Converting office into residential or to housing is really challenging. It's really expensive.
I also asked Howard Jenkins, who manages multifamily housing for real estate firm CBRE.
The challenge is that most of it, the infrastructure does not fit for an apartment redevelopment, whether it's the floor plans, columns, location.
But conversion of a commercial building into housing is happening here at the 1105 Flats at North Hills.
This used to be a hotel that we are now converting into one-bedroom apartments.
Brandon Freeze is part of the local team transforming the 127 hotel rooms into rentals.
And then here would be the bedroom area. This is the wall that we ended up putting up ourselves to separate.
Freeze says this project isn't free of challenges. City code requires a utility meter for each unit, and they had to create kitchens in rooms that weren't designed for cooking.
We will also have a stovetop that sits on the counter for people to cook, and when they're done, they can put it away to save on space.
Rents will start at $1,145, hundreds of dollars below the Raleigh average. Freeze believes converting spaces like this will help bring down housing costs.
As long as we can continue to provide as many housing opportunities as possible, there will always be people who want to fill it.
Matt Tallhelm, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Now, when it comes to converting an office building into housing, the experts we talk to say it's often cheaper for a developer to demolish it and start from scratch.